Okie dokie. I should be alive and well here. I'm using a little bit of full trial with the black. Put it on nice and smooth there. And of course I'm using 140 pound weight watercolor paper glued to foam board, of course. Kind of becoming my usual thing. Now I'm just dipping my brush into the Floetrol and dipping my brush into the black paint. Gives me the fluidity I need with this thick black paint here. This is some heavy body black paint. I'm not worried about streaks or anything because I'll more than likely be going over this once it's fully covered here. This type of painting really needs a solid black background. Straight black, no streaks or anything, so you know. It just loosens up the paint so it flows on a little easier. Of course, with the female figure masked, when it gets to the actual painting of her, I can be a little more, I can adjust things. It does dry. It gives you a little chance to kind of play with it and whatnot. It flows on really nice. Once that coating's on, then you can go back over it again with a second coat without the Floetrol. Okay, and it is black, so you can kind of, you know, you want a nice deep set black for this. And once it's on there, you know. So really nice deep black, straight, just black, no streaks, no nothing. Dipping into some more of this black paint. And I'm using just the black paint right out the tube. So once this black sets on there, it's just a nice solid covering of black. No playing around. Then I must let it totally dry, into which it will. It is acrylic paint. Acrylic paint dries rather quickly. Okay. You don't have to massacre the paint on there, but just enough to give it a nice decent coating. And pure black paint will dry quickly. Whatever type of painting you do, just remember to have a little fun with it. Let's make sure my audio's right here. Yep. So you can hear me talking there. Why do I paint it this time of night? Don't know. Okay, nice solid black there. And you just let her dry. I think I covered it up pretty good. What do you think? The white paint that I'm using is not craft paint, but it's soft white. It's not titanium white. This is a blending white. I'm not a fan of it. I end up buying a tube of it because I did not look at the writing. So, typical male thing. All right. So while I'm waiting for it to dry, I can put the splatters in there now, even when it's wet. Really won't matter at this point. Don't need Floetrol, just a little bit of water and some white paint. This white paint will be a little thicker, won't be too watery. Just to give the look of stars, I'm pulling my brush back a little further than usual. And just pop them in there, pop them stars up in there, like that. Gather some tiny ones in there, like that. Get you some more paint. Go a little further back. Pop some big ones in there, here and there, like this. Then I'll just kind of splatter some little ones down here by her dress. And kind of maybe continue a little bit of those splatters this way. Some tight clustered splatters here and there. Then pop some stars around in here. Might want some bigger stars on the bottom. I think we're good, really. Pop some love here in the corner real quick. That should be good enough. Yeah, just let it dry. Of course, if this was earlier in the day, I would have people to talk to while this stuff dries. Actually, I could go for some coffee. Ought to make me or pour me a batch. This is definitely a coffee evening. It is pretty much like watching paint dry. Now, I did mask, take some clear tape, some Scotch tape, which has a tendency to really keep paint from seeping through or whatever. So if you ever wanted a solid line of color or lack of color, use Scotch tape. Does very, very well. Okay, just saying. But there are some things that I have to add on first. So before I add it on, the dots definitely have to dry before I continue on, and also before I remove the tape. So well, actually I don't have to. I can actually remove the tape. Yeah, I can remove the tape. I don't have to keep the clear tape on there. I can slowly remove it. I don't need it. Just be slow and very careful when removing the tape. So it's a pull lift method like this. Rock it back and forth. It's a nice tight straight line. So you get that nice crisp line there. Not the most difficult of paintings. The most challenging thing about a painting like this, more or less, would be, it depends on how good you are drawing the human figure. Just like that. So you got a nice, crisp, sharp line there. I can add now my other effects if I would like to. Just gotta wait a few more minutes for this to dry. That's all. Alright. I'm really thinking about that coffee right about now. I'm really feeling that coffee. And I'm really feeling about scraping up some of this loose paint off my palette. I don't have the camera on for the palette because, especially for this beginning part, it's really simple, black and white. Alright. Paintings like this kind of tell a story, relays a mood and whatnot. And plus I'm tired of painting cottages and cabins. Really don't feel like painting flowers and mountains and lakes and streams. I've already did that because I think I've pretty much painted a good slew of paintings, almost varied subjects already. So, you know, I got a feeling I'm gonna end up doing a coffee break because I'm still waiting for this to dry pretty much. So I shall return. I'm going to make me some coffee. So you guys can sit around and watch paint dry. I'll be back. Take that little time to pour me some Java. I had to take that little coffee time. Coffee. All right. As I'm looking at some things, I see some wet spots still, so I can't go into what I'm going to do next. It's going to be pretty neat, I hope. It's going to involve maybe I can get away with it with the Floetrol. I might. I think I can get away with it. So, as I'm looking at it here, yeah, I think I can get away with it. While we're waiting for paint to dry, I guess I can pop on a few colors that you're not seeing because I don't have the screen up for it. But it's yellow, a little dot of red. I don't need too much red, so I think that's all I need, really. I already got the I've already got the white present. I do believe I can get away with this. So, we're going to start. I'm going to get a little bit of white. Place it here. Get some yellow. Now, I got to wake up this yellow with the white, even though this is not permanent white. But I got to kind of add the white. Now I'm getting some Floetrol. Put some Floetrol in here. I got a feeling I'm going to need my other brush, but we'll see. All right, and here we go. I got to just see where her face is. I think I'll see. I'm gonna see it once I place the place this stuff on her. And we're gonna just kind of wave it around just like you see here. Go back into it. Cake that stuff on here like this. Once I start to see it change color, add more and just keep it moving around. Just kind of use my brush and kind of float around in there. Dip into my little more white, into that yellow. Get a little Floetrol, pop it in there. Remember, the Floetrol just helps it move around and everything. Get those effects that I'm looking for in Sister Girl here. guys are probably wondering, what the heck is he doing? I promise this will make a little somewhat sense. Somewhat. Just stirring it around. Looks kind of crazy, I know. Remember, when it starts turning black, just dip in some more white. Like I said, this is a mixing white. This is not titanium white. So this is more of a blending white. Blend into your color. Looks kind of crazy. I know it does. I know. I'm going to take a little dot of red. I'm mixing it red in with that yellow, as a matter of fact. Going into a little tiny touch of white in there. Going into my red, I'm going to make the red a little deeper than that. Going into my Floetrol. Alright. Okay. And just outside that yellow there. Just outside that yellow. Pop some of that love right up in there like this. Blend that yellow and red in there a little bit like that. See that? See what's going on there? You notice that? You blend that yellow and red into each other a little bit. Still going into my red. I'm going to dip a little yellow in that red. Since I have yellow and red in there together, get some Floetrol, put it in there, loosen it up a little bit, and just keep continuing. Continue on. I'll do a little bit at a time. Blend it up in there a little bit. Just tap it in there. I'm going to go all the way around with her, of course. Never forget to blend, softly blend this into the yellow. We're going to brighten up a few spots as we do this, but I'm going around the whole thing first. A little more yellow, a little touch of red in there. Get some Floetrol. Float around in there, twist it and turn it. And don't forget, add those little blends in there. Blend that red in there. We're gonna get some nice hot spots in there also. Pop it right in there. Just go into a little bit of mixing white. I'll put it on the corner, one edge of my brush. I'm going to tease yellow and red. Now the mixing white's in there. Okay. And we get some kind of. Someone get some nice little bright spots in there like that. Some of it will be a little brighter than others. So we got little, like I say, little hot spots. And blur it into that red. Not necessarily all over the place, but you know, certain spots. Kind of. And if anything, some of it you blur out, some of you don't, but you mix it in there. Just mix it right in there. Okay. And I'm going into some mixing white into my yellow red here. Get a little bit of yellow. Light it up a little bit. And we're gonna actually, let's get some more mixing white. I want some really bright spots in there. So we'll tease some white in there like this. Just in certain little spots, just like that. And you mix it in there, pop it in there. My brush is a little contaminated, so I'll just clean it off real fast. My fan brush also needs a little bit of a cleaning. Going back into my white. A little bit of yellow into that white. where I might want it to kind of really brighten it up a little bit. Just more mixing white. Just where I might want a little more heat. Like that. Some really warm spots in there. Usually close to the body where the core is, it's a little warm. It radiates outward. Smooth it right out there. Not necessarily all over the place, but just in certain key areas. You kind of want some of that heat coming out there. I won't put it everywhere. Definitely up around in here where it's a little dark. I don't want it that dark. Kind of lighten it up a little bit there. I think that would be fine. I'm going to take I'll take a flat brush. I'll take a flat brush, some Floetrol, tiny bit of red with the yellow and Floetrol, and I'll throw some mixing white in there to brighten it up a little bit. All right, and with this I'm gonna do some fancy S shapes in there just to kind of like that in various spots. Go back into some of that. So we're adding little flame patterns in there, here and there. In a tear-like fashion. Like so. I'll keep it this yellow whitish kind of look here. It adds to the radiating bits of flame in here. Very kind of little. You notice I got them irradiating outward. All right, nothing really going inward, just out. Okay. Okay, let's start peeling her away. Why not? trying to find a spot to do the digging here. All right, and just be careful in pulling this stuff apart. Very slow, methodical. A lot of folds and stuff going on there, so I just have to be careful, see where it is. Just watch myself, really. It is a pull lift thing, so I have to be mindful of that. Be careful. Where I see it tear, I know it's an extra bit of, it's tape over there that I gotta lift and give a nice little pull to, but just be careful. Let me just keep pulling. Now I did this in strips, so I have to be mindful of where I'm going, where it's aiming. A lot of folds in here. Be careful. Very careful. Now you're getting to the form of her body. Don't try to rush this part, especially when there's like really tight, intricate things going on. Like her hands here. Be careful. And her other hand right here. Like that, just be very careful. They're in strips. Just be mindful of where you do things. Ain't that no matter. Don't worry about the black line going through her. That won't be seen by the time it's all said and done. You know, I think I got all of her. All that's needed anyway. Anyway, well, there she is. Okay. Okay. Let's have a little fun with her, shall we? I'll take a round brush. I will really loosen up this brush. If I'm smart, I'll start off with a script liner first. Going with a little black, a lot of water in the black. Using a script liner. Not enough water. It's black is very thick. It doesn't flow off my brush. It is way too thick. I'll be using a round brush very shortly. So I just got to be careful of where I want to place things here. I think that's about right. Okay, let's go with a round brush. Round brush a little thicker. I can get in there and cover up some area pretty quickly here. Mixing some thicker paint in there with it for right now. Her head silhouette should not have any lines in it. It should be just very dark. I can do extra with her hair when I get to it. I'll shape up her hair. Right now it's just blocking everything in. It's the important part. So she may tend to grow a little bit as I keep silhouetting and getting the hair shape in there. I don't want her hair to be perfectly round. Something like that. Okay. Something like a that. All right. Dipping in the water. I'm going into a little thicker paint because I want a more solid black color. I'm dipping into a little bit of water. It's going to still maintain its thickness. You follow me? So it will be solid black where it needs to be. I'll loosen up the paint a little bit. Some of this may require the strip liner. All depends. Now, as I get close to her hands here, I can usually get away with it. It all depends on how neat I want it. Okay. But I kind of know my limitations when it comes to that. So I will use a script liner to finish it off. Small details of her hands and fingers and whatnot. Or any edge that I know I can't get too well. Her fingers are delicate, so even though silhouetted in black, still try your best to keep them delicate and feminine. And round it as best as you can. All right.
Everything straightened out after that failed challenge, and here comes home. Finally finding some rhythm in the service line. Look at Christensen defend his position. Anderson ripping down the line, but just missed it wide.
Okay. I've been online for I don't know how long, and I never knew all you guys are there. This tablet is very old and it does not catch the chat immediately. I don't know why. So I didn't think, that's why I haven't said nothing, because I didn't think nobody was there. But it's Bill, Shane, Sonia, no, Bree. Hello, Bree. Hey, Jen, how are you? I enjoyed your dinosaurs. I don't know if you knew I was there or not, but I was there. Oh yeah, it's 2.5. It's 2-inch masking tape. That's it. Jen. Hey Kathy, how are you, dear? Thank you, Jen. Alrighty, we'll start with that dress, which will be very flowing and such and stuff and such. All right, coffee. Silhouette needs to be a little stronger. As it dries, you'll start seeing streaks and whatnot. So I'll just take some thick black paint here. Right where her face is, right all in there. Just gonna, you just want, whatever's supposed to be solid black, you make it solid black. Period. Paint it right in there. If it's supposed to be solid, make it solid. At least I can try to smooth that out a little bit. It's the edge. I'll just keep working at it there. All right, that's good. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Don't worry about this. You're not gonna see it. Okay, that's enough of that. For some reason, when I do paintings like this, that doesn't really take a lot of effort. I tend to get the bigger responses for something like this. Why, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because I got tired of painting log cabins and mountains and flowers. That's the only reason why I painted this thing. But anyway, while I'm chatting and not necessarily waiting for it to dry, but her silhouette, that's about the only thing that's going to be solid black, I believe. But I do have white dots all over my board. A little rubbing alcohol would take care of most of this. Usually. I just get tired of looking at it, really. Okay. All right. Now, the way I got it positioned here, the painting, you're seeing it pretty much true to size. Okay. If I had the the upper window up there, it shows the palette. Of course, the painting would be smushed in. All right, so you're pretty much looking at it true to size. I gotta hit the camera because every time I put a layer of paint on it or whatever, it changes the focus. Believe it or not, the camera gets fooled. There. That should sharpen it a little bit for you. Because the camera can't really judge depth. Okay, so when you put on an extra layer of color or whatever, it blurs out, believe it or not. So, yeah. Okie dokie. Now, I could have kept the tape on there and just kept the bar straight white, but that won't be necessary, won't be needed. The bars are white, it kind of breaks it up a little bit. Okay, all right. You just into too many commercials, bro. Okay, You guys don't see this, but I'm rubbing alcohol on my glass palette so I can scrape up the extra colors that I will not be needing. So I can just get rid of those real quickly. And as I'm scraping it up and getting ready to get rid of most of this, like I say, you guys don't see this. And I'm just getting things prepared for the other colors, that's all. The Floetrol that I do have, I put it in a small container. So I can just dip the brushes in that instead of making a large globular mess. And then I'll just dry off the excess, wipe it off, wipe it away. So I start off with a pretty much clean slate, quote unquote. Okay. All right. Throw it in the trash. Ugh. You know what? I think I'll go for something a little different today. Let's give her a turquoise dress today. How about that? I don't recommend anybody with dentures doing what I just did. I'm just saying. Once again, I don't have titanium white. It's mixing white, blending white, much softer white. I can't stand it, but it's what I bought. Okay, so what I'll do is just coat her dress in the turquoise, and then I'll probably end up using a little bit of turquoise and black or whatever to get some shading, general shading in, and then I'll kind of add the flowing stuff to her dress and whatnot. Okay, so we're gonna block all of this in. Okay. If I was wise, to which I never bragged I was, I'll start building it from fold to fold. This would be the smart way to do this. And I'll just block it in, just what you see me doing right now. And I have Floetrol mixed in this. Okay. Now, why am I blocking it in per crease here? I can pretty much get the little bit of shading, where I want the dark part to be. I'll just get a little touch of black. Go back and forth. Black, in a perfect world, will be toward the bottom, like that. And you kind of keep wiping, fade it in there. All right, something like that-ish. I'm going back into my Floetrol in turquoise. We'll start on the next one, red and brown in here. Little dot of black on the corner. Pretty much accented, just putting the accents of a little bit of shading in there, like so. Just keep building it up like that. All right. Okay. Getting some more turquoise, getting some more Floetrol. Not saying that this is all going to be kind of permanent or whatever, but it's a start. I'm gonna go right here and just kind of go up and flow it there, right in here. So I'll start off with this cork color. Once again, it's a big block in, just like that. Go in, just like that.
Pretty good serve. Serving pressure right now. Mikhailov inside, dug by Anderson. Wow, and a little bit of confusion. Installed and Taylor Sanders.
A little black in the corner, just in the corner, black. In the corner. I just wipe back and forth real quickly. See how smooth it looks when you start getting it like that. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of black, go into this turquoise. I'm going to just deepen the turquoise a little bit with the black. Because in here, it's going to be a little darker turquoise right up in here. Which denotes that the dress is a fold underneath, right up in here. I don't need it to be, it's just a little shade darker, and that's all you need. Now, the Floetrol helps to paint the flow. You get a nice smooth streakless color in there. I could make that a little bit darker, okay, if I desired to. I could. But let's do something here. Watch this. I take a little bit of this disastrous white. I'm putting it into the turquoise. Let's get a little Floetrol in there. Into the white. Right around in maybe this area. Something like that. Okay. Okay. Go into some just regular turquoise. And I'm gonna get some Floetrol in there. Okay. Same thing on the other side here. Curve it in. Block it and curve it. Now, darken that up a little bit. Okay. Let's get a little more of that white. And let's get some Floetrol in that white. Right up here in the center. Right up here in the center. Make it a little bright-ish in here. And we'll kind of lightly fade that out. Get some roundness in there. Fade that out. Fade it. Something like that. See that? You can get away with that in here a little bit too. Right up in here. If you would like. Okay, I'm just wiping off my brush. And then I'll just kind of scumble that edge in there. Whoops. Don't worry about it. It goes away. Don't panic. Hashtag don't panic. I'm not going to go too heavy with the bright stuff. You'll see why in a minute. Okay, back into our turquoise again. A little bit of, I keep saying glycerin. I'm just in the habit of the glycerin, but it's Floetrol. Boom, boom. Get out of there. Go on. Get out of there. You're gonna get a little dot of, whoops, a little dot of black back and forth. Right up in here. Alright, you see how that starts to look? Okay. Well, thank you. Yes, I kind of figured it would be. I did. Yep. I did figure that it was going to be quite a pleasant contrast. There's a mosquito that snuck its way in here that I'm going to have to destroy. But I'll be bothered by that later. More turquoise. More turquoise right here. Right around somewhere around in here, somewhere. It comes out here. It comes out here. Right around in here. Now, while it's still kind of wet-ish, get that little dot of black, put it on the corner of your brush, go back and forth a few times, come right here, make sure the black's on the bottom there. And you just kind of see that little gentle fade of that color, like that. Okay. Let's go with a little bit of this white and a little bit of Floetrol up around in here. A little more mixing white. Maybe a little something here. Something like that. Oh, let's kind of decorate that a little bit more. Just a little bit. Why did I keep this the way it is? Well, going back into my Floetrol, go into a little bit of this turquoise. So it's turquoise, a little Floetrol here. And be very careful. I've been doing this for a minute, so and plus I'm used to figure drawing, so I got a pretty steady hand in this type of thing. Told you would not see that black. Remember I told you about that? Yeah, I told you won't see it. It doesn't stop here, guys. Believe it or not, with all I'm doing here, it's still a blocking in stage. You'll see in a second what I'm talking about. Now, with the Floetrol, as you can see, I can kind of streak and stroke along. But it, you know, you go over it, and it will smooth itself off. But that's the Floetrol helping you out doing this. Okay. All right. That's the flow trawl doing the work for you. All you have to do really just repeat the strokes. See, I don't do too many of these because I don't really find it much of a challenge. But for some reason, people like these. You figure, if I get such a response with people liking something like this, you figure I would do more of it. Wrong. It's kind of what you, if you get the feel for it and if you enjoy doing it. Doing that much of it anyway. Okay, enough of that. All right. Kind of signs that where her rib cage would be. Breast bulge there. Where her hips would be, up in here somewhere. Oh, you guys might not see that too much as I'm looking at the screen. Okay. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Let's play. Time to play now. Time to play. Let's get this really kind of flowing stuff. Okay. See, I can take a flower kind of approach to this now and just have fun with it. Okay. All right. I'm just looking for a brush. I guess I'll deal with this one. It's a 1/2-inch brush, but it's one that can keep a pretty steady, nice chiseled edge. Going to my flow trawl. Oh, I'll just put it here. Get into my turquoise. And a little bit of that there, mixing white. I'm putting plenty of it on here. Okay. Let's give it a little. I don't have to go all the way, but just continue the flow of the thing, much like that. Probably, yeah, it's going to be a little brighter than that. I'm going to get a little flow troll in there. Once again, this is mixing white that's in this. Okay, I'll give a little push. And maybe a little push here. And kind of go on in there. Aha. Hold on. Aha. Is that something I have to peel off there? Or did I forget? I forgot. My bad. I'm sorry, dear. I forgot baby had a little bag. I'm sorry. No, don't forget the coffee. No, I don't forget the coffee. I know it's there. Rinsing off the paint. I'm just using water in the soft white paint here. Nothing but soft white. I'm so used to saying titanium white. Trust me, it isn't. It is definitely soft white. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of water with this blue. I'll make a quick glaze of sorts, and we'll darken in some spots here. It'll just bring her dress like a little rounder there, so we'll glaze some of it in there. See, it's just a light glaze to do the trick with that. All right, and it brings some of that out. All right, okay. I can probably play around with a little bit of this here. Let's darken that a little bit. Wherever I feel it might need to be a little darkened or whatever. And when I say darkened, it doesn't necessarily have to be black or mixed in with black. Not necessarily. Sometimes a darker turquoise would work. Okay. Sometimes. Sometimes. I gotta wait for that to dry, because that will be turquoise also. You need the white there to kind of pump up the turquoise. Mixes right in there. Lays right on top of that white. As you can see, I can reshape whatever I want to reshape by just adding black. Okay, that. Reshape what I want to reshape. Reshape her hair if I have to. Like so. I'm going to take a little bit of white and yellow. Probably a little touch of red in there. Basically just cover that up a little bit there. Alright. Alright. Okay. Okay. I don't know who's ringing me at 2 in the morning. It's something that I want to do, but it requires a brush that I guess I can get away with it with this a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of red. I don't know if I really want to, we'll see. We'll see. I'll just try it in the corner here. Yeah, it'll sort of work. Yeah. And I'm going to just dry brush some of this red on here just to smooth out some stuff, kind of give it sort of a glow-ish, even though I'm using red. You figure I would use something brighter for the glow, but it's really just smooth out that red just a tad. I can use a brighter color, but that's not really what where my attention is at right now. Really, it's really this red. It's going up into the darkness there. Just kind of want to smooth it out a bit, so it's more of a dry brush type of thing. I can use a lighter color to do it, but it's just something about the red. I just want to kind of add a little bit of that. It's just a slight touch of this stuff. Put it into the bristles real good, and then I'll just lightly kind of teeth, a little bit of yellow and white in there. A little more of soft white in there. I'm running out of space.
Think about what Jordan's come back from too. You mentioned in 2018, he thought about giving up the sport. He finishes at the U.S. Championship, but all a World Championship team and said
Carefully,
felt like the sport didn't want
carefully,
that move to Texas.
carefully slap some glowing in there. Carefully.
Wow, indeed. And coming up next,
You, as soon as you start to notice it, then you stop and move on and go to another spot. Just be careful. You can start to kind of see the glow going on around her.
Why should your business go hybrid with IBM? Well, it's sort of like playing soccer. To win games, you gotta be agile, versatile, willing to take risks. But you can only do that when you know your goal is
So just be careful with it. Okay, just be careful.
data no matter where it lives, while being
A little white, a little yellow.
That's what going hybrid with IBM's open cloud platform can do for your business. Helping you turn your next play into a game changer.
so you want to make the best burger ever? That means cooking day and night until success. That means best burger ever. Intuit QuickBooks helps small businesses be more successful with payments, payroll, and banking.
You handle it a spot at a time, a little bit. Especially where it's particularly kind of dark. You want to lighten that up a little bit. You can go a little heavy. But then as soon as you get that look you're looking for, get back off.
At Chipotle, real food always starts with real ingredients.
As soon as you start to see it lighten up, move on.
Real food starts with you. Whether it's in restaurants, pickup, or delivery. However, you Chipotle is the easiest way to Chipotle. I'm back, baby. The boss baby family business. Scream of Young Cock now.
Okay. I'll stop playing with it. I guess this that'll be it. Not really, not much, too much into this painting. Not too much, really.
Day continues into the night for the U.S. women. The top athletes here in Tokyo, watching from all over the globe, though, including back in Spring, Texas. Ron and Ellie are parents and family who cannot be easy. Decided to watch, but wishing they could be here in person. What a great opportunity watching Simone Biles, certainly at the Olympics, but on vault.
That you will not be doing. Your level right here in the hall.
Blah 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 blah.
This one's hard enough, too.
Just about to say that.
16.0 maximum score, half turn on, half turn off. Rudy in the air. Oh boy. Once again, not her best. How was it? What happened on that one? She's a little bit, we call being high on the table. And inside the arena to check out the number. She is 15.4. So often in support of Jordan Childs. Jordan came over to do just that for Simone Biles a moment ago. So the ball total 15-1-8-3.
And so look at that execution score again. 9.6 out of a 10.0. Like I was saying, she does the most difficult skills in the world and backs it up with incredible execution.
Hello, Aurora. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. I would say good night, but it's actually morning where I am, so good morning.
Same ball that we saw from Simone for ball number 1. And it's tremendous. Very, very difficult, but doesn't get the explosive air that Simone does. This is going to be good score.
So once again, that half turn onto the table, 1.5 off, just almost had it.
All right, enough playing around. I'll sign this thing and call it a night. Morning. Morning, night.
That's a great score. She will be doing a second vault as well in hopes of making that vault final. But as you mentioned earlier, the biggest test for Team USA is really being in the top 2 within Team USA.
Same ball we saw from Simone. That's an embarrassment of riches. And there's one more great one here.
I guess that'll do for this evening. Morning. Let's see what it looks like in the frame.
So she does the exact same ball as will Jane Perry coming up. Now twist off. It's one big step forward, and then kind of puts her leg together as opposed to moving it back, so that can be considered.
I don't think that's far enough back. It might fit. It might stick, rather. I know it'll fit. All right, she might stay there for a second or two. I think you guys are able to see it like this. Yeah, I think you guys can somewhat see it like that, I guess. Let me see if you guys can still see if I sit down, have it twirl around like a back ballerina because of the lapel mic. Oh, good grief. Well, thank you very much, Jen. I appreciate you. Get the ball of some rubber band out of the frame. Yeah, put it right there. Well, it is what it is, I guess. It's funny. Yeah, you don't notice it, if you were here, you wouldn't notice that, but when the light hits it, it's actually a little tear right there. Actually, but believe it or not, when I varnish it, you're not going to notice it was there. But anyway, this is what it would look like in a frame. Okie dokie. No, okie dokie. Yeah. I guess I can. Well, I'm about to end it, so it really won't matter. But anyway, this is what it looks like. All right. I'll take a picture of it. I'll post it. Blah blah blah. You guys know the drill. Trying to think of what else. I guess there's nothing else. I can shut this thing down. All right, it's 2:17 a.m. at the time of me painting this thing. Anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate you. I'll see you when I see you, all right? Take care.